Hey guys, Slaughter Magic here. We've got an announcement coming out of Gavin Verhey, who is very into the Pauper community and one of the more tolerable people at Wizards of the Coast. He's also a member and I guess creator, if I remember correctly, of the Pauper Format Panel, or KFC. It's a bunch of Pauper enthusiasts from the community who know Pauper better than anybody at Wizards. Shocker, the players know better than them. I think we figured that out as of BFZ. And they've been making some good decisions. Pauper's very, very healthy format. Not enough people played it, if you ask me. Very affordable, very dynamic, very fun, good power level. I mean, that's kind of subjective, but I love it. I love Standard Artisan a lot better, but now with Standard going to 3 years, it kind of ruined that. But you'd be surprised how tolerable things can get when you shave off the entire top end of the rares and the mythics. So Artisan, if you're not familiar, is uncommons and commons, whereas Pauper is eternal but commons. Artisan's a little more centralized and easy to build with because it's limited to just Standard typically. So if you're looking for a fun format to play but don't want to reach into the expense and dis-ease of getting cards of the Pauper world, let me just throw that one out there. So I thought I'd mention it, but they're making a ban of a card that arguably hasn't even been printed yet. The formal release date of Modern Horizons 3 is June 14th. Now, people have them. They had pre-release events. You could buy boxes at it. Some people somehow got their hands on them and already put them on eBay. WOTC doesn't really care too much anymore compared to the absolute, secret police they would have back in, the 2013 era. But seriously, let's get to the core of this video. If that Street Sweeper goes past one more time, I'm about to lose my The street is clean enough. My mic is actually starting to pick that up. That's what they should ban from Magic, street sweepers. So this is kind of wild. All right, so we got the KFC, we've got Gavin, we've got a format that people like that's being way better policed, way more aggressively and quickly reacted to, and it has been a wild success. Every other format could learn from this. They might try adapting this to Standard if anybody played or gave a crap about Standard anymore. So Gavin does open this article with, while I may be the one writing this article, all 7 of us talk all the time throughout the week, or throughout every week, pardon me. We share deck lists, talk through event results and the state of the metagame, and share trends we're noticing in Pauper. We communicate online and in person, as our members span 5 countries. We talk through every decision and what we're seeing to reach a conclusion. So I'm speaking for all of us here, and I share the results of many conversations and thoughts. Today we're coming to you with a unanimous decision. You don't see that often, everybody agreeing. We are banning Cranial Ram in Pauper ahead of it being released. So this is a black-red living weapon, which means when you cast it, you create a 0/0 token and attach it to it. Equipped creature gets +X+1, where X is the number of artifacts you control. Equip 2, and this is a common. So a whole bunch of this set, when they're coming up with quote-unquote new cards, they decided to just power creep existing cards or sidestep it or shift it to a different deck archetype than it would normally be in, but keep the card pretty much the same. I say that because here's Cranial Plating. Now, Cranial Plating is currently banned in Pauper, and that's it, to which half the audience always says, but isn't it also banned in Modern Legacy? No, that's Skull Clamp. So we'll just get that out of the way. So not much to really process here. They really wrote a lengthy article, but this enables Artifact Affinity a little too well. Now, they probably thought they calmed it down a little bit by making it 2 different colors instead of colorless, but not really. Are those 2 colors really known for Artifact Heavy? No. But does it matter? No. So as they put it, Cranial Plating has dominated multiple formats of Magic history in conjunction with the Artifact lands, and by the way, they're printing those in this set. It is very easy for this card to hit hard, and if you don't remove it, every single creature becomes a must-answer threat. So yeah, you just move it around, and just win. It's incredibly annoying, right up there with the Umbra cards, or at least some of them. It's kind of like Undying and Persist if that was even more annoying. And then the only weakness for equipment, not having a creature, well, it creates its own creature. So they recently banned all that glitters, I think a month or 2 ago, and it's pretty much for the same reason. It takes a theme and goes way too hard with it, and that theme is just having artifacts at all. All that glitters was having artifacts or enchantments at all, both of which were quite ridiculous. So they just go on to say, yeah, you either have removal or you don't. Makes the game polar, or as we call it, binary. I don't know why they're inventing new terms when everybody calls it binary conditions. It's kind of like Blood Moon. You either are affected by it and care or have removal for it, or you don't, and that's about it. So they go through the pros and the cons, and they go way too into it. I'm sure they had a really long meeting. Who really cares? It's gone. And more importantly, it's gone before anybody can build a whole deck around it. Because if you build a whole deck around it, and then a week later you get rug pulled, you're going to feel pretty mad. Even if you got to play it for 6 months, it became problematic, and then you get rug pulled on it. Your deck is still gone. So a week ahead of time to say, hey, this is already gone, don't build with it. There you go. Everybody's happy. Everybody's on the same page. That is the way to do a ban announcement. The whole let's wait and see what happens. Well, if half the time over like a 10-year period, you're waiting to see what happens, then guess what? Half the time, usually for about 5 years, linear time cumulatively, the format is unhealthy and unplayable at a highly competitive level. And that's why people leave every format. That's why the delay and mismanagement of Modern is ridiculous. And to say, well, in Standard, we're going to lock it to only banning stuff once a year, that was the biggest mistake they've ever made. So they wrote that they've already predicted that on June 15th, it's going to ruin that tournament. And I would say that they have enough expertise between them that is absolutely 100% correct. They're so ahead of the curve that they're already getting out in front of the whiners and saying, yes, you could just, quote unquote, dies to removal. You could just use Cast into the Fire or Hydroblast to get rid of it. People could adapt, but should they have to? Is it fun? And do you have the room in your deck? And should you have to burn it just to stop one stupid card? No, 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 no. Just because it dies to removal doesn't mean anything. That is the stupidest crutch from stupid net deckers who don't know what they're talking about. So then they take this perfect announcement, perfect flow of information, perfect handling of an overpowered card that WOTC shouldn't have printed, and completely kick it right in the balls, bringing it down to like a B+ instead of an A+ announcement, by ending it with, now I again want to stress, and if it seems like I'm saying this a lot, it's really important. This is not precedent. This is not something to expect again. Well, I'm expecting it again because letting things get out of control is stupid. No, not letting in a new concept because it might just by a couple percent, change the status quo. That's stupid and it's going to make you not sell cards. People, whether they want to admit it or not, occasionally want to actually rebuild their decks. Or build a new deck, I should say, because they've been playing it forever, they're bored with it, they can get free wins with it, but they're bored with it. So unless you're grinding stuff online, don't care, you're not having fun, you're not at real tournaments, I think it's time for that deck to go. Even I'm a little sick of Candy Cane on Arena, even though I just got to Mythic with it again. It's been 4 years, okay? Sometimes winning isn't everything. They want to tell you that they got their eye on the artifact lands in general because those are awful and they're banned from Modern for a reason. I believe, and I might be wrong here, the original artifact lands were actually pre-banned from Modern. They were so problematic that when they created the format called Modern, they said, no, all of them banned. That's way too good. And then Artifact Affinity was still tier 1 in the early days without them. So they were 100% correct. Now they've reprinted them in this set. So there's a couple other cards that they got their eye on. I don't want to give it away. Go read the article if you're way into Pauper. But the big news is they pre-banned this. This is such a good move, and they should make it precedent, and they should do this all the time. I wouldn't just see every power card that might create a new deck and say ban it immediately. I think that's what he's saying to kind of level it out. But stuff this blatant, where it's just a functional reprint basically of a card that's already banned. Nah, take action. Don't be a coward. Don't wait and see. Don't say, oh, well, I'm going to make these people mad, but then if I do this, I'm going to make these people mad. Oh, decision paralysis. Nah, dude. Nah, don't play like that. So good news all around in this ban announcement. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.